You are now listening to the Vitalize podcast. Hey yo, what up, family? Welcome back to the Vitalize podcast. You are here with your friendly neighborhood host, Mr. Marcus Black, and I'm so incredibly excited, elated, ecstatic, and all the other words that start with E to let you know that I'm happy to be in your presence today, man. Well, what up, though? Listen, you might need to adjust your dials and whatever you need to do, because if you came here for the very first time, you're like, why is he yelling at me? I'm not yelling at you, I promise. I just say it with my chest because I can. Shout out to the people who can see my chest, because you watching this, you watching the replay, you watching this on YouTube. Shout out to the YouTube people. What up, though? What up, YouTube people? Hope y'all doing incredibly well. You can see there I got my boo on my chest today. It says Rachel. That's my boo, you know what I'm saying? Rocking the album merch. We making it do what it do because we can. But listen, I'm always going to speak with a lot of passion, because life matters, man. Life is precious. So if you're here for the very first time and you tapping in with the guy, it's okay. I'm glad that you are here. I'm not going to turn down, so you might want to turn me down. But if you're ready to turn up, if you're about to go for a run, this is going to be perfect for you. If you're riding in your car, this is going to be perfect for you on the commute. If you're about to get on a bike, shout out to Cousin Kim who be on the bike listening. If you're getting on a bike, y'all got a little bit of fuel to push you through to help you get where you going, because you can. So, no such thing as a second-time guest in this community. So, I just want you to know I'm super grateful to have you here. Those of you who are joining me, checking in on Instagram, shout out to y'all. What up, TikTok family? What up, though? All the people, Facebook, what up, though? I don't say much to y'all, but I'm welcome, man. Welcome, Facebook people. And you know I would be entirely remiss if I didn't come here and I ain't say what up, though, to the live audience who is watching this go down right now. It goes down in the Chatter social streets, not in the DMs, but it can go down in the DMs because Chatter got DMs. But Chatter social is the new craze that's taking over the world, fam. And it literally is an incredible group of people where we have built community. And I've been able to meet some of the greatest individuals that I have come across over the years. Literally, in such a short amount of time, man, we've built community, we've built camaraderie, and they are people who I can honestly say help me start my day in the greatest way every single day. Hashtag bars. Call me Dr. Seuss in these streets. But some of y'all was like, what the heck is a Chatter social? It's hard to explain, but it's literally like I would say take your 4 favorite social medias and combine them into one with dope people. And that is Chatter Social. I'm talking about, and they're watching me live right now. You could be as well. They're watching. They're not just listening. They're watching this. They're listening to it. They making comments. I don't know what they saying, but I'm about to tell you because I'm about to look and see. So listen, yo, say what up to the people, Chatter Social. I'm looking. Let me see who we got going, man. Let me see what's tapping in. What's up, Makita is in the building. She said, let's go. What's up, Jeanette? I see you, girl. What's up, Trey? Jade said, come on. Jade said, come to Chatter. So you should listen to her. If you need an invite, I might know a guy. Holla at your boy. I can get you. What up, James? What up, Kelly? Supreme is in the building. Sandra Lee said, what up, though, from Buffalo? They all over the world, too. That's the beauty of it. My man Marty is in the building. Alicia, Tina, Dro, he clean. And he said, tap in with more than motivation because you can. Isha, let's go. Consuelo said, because you can. You know what time it is. So listen to this track. These are all real individuals who are all over the globe. Some of them not even in the United States. But that's the community we've been able to build. And we have real-time conversations every day, on camera, off camera, watching movies together, having parties. We have sing-off competition, the voice competition. They got a poetry competition. I mean, it's crazy, fam. It's all type of things. But if you are like, wait, you got FOMO in your heart, good. That's what I wanted you to have. You want to figure out how you can be a part of Chatter Social, you can go to any social media and follow at @Chatter_US, @Chatter_US. And then you can holler at your boy and say, I need an invite because it's exclusive. We exclusive around here. You can't get in the club unless somebody in the club feels like you should be in the club. And I'm saying I might know a guy. So send me a DM on Instagram, shameless plug, @MBlackSpeaks. And I can get you in, man. Holler at the guy because you can. I'll tap in with you. I'll take care of you because I can. Now, let's get down to business. Let's get down to business. And what I want to talk to you guys about today is something that's important to my heart. But just before I do want to take a moment and acknowledge everyone that has been affected by the storms. The hurricane has just ravaged through the Caribbean up through the East Coast of the United States of America. Man, if you are a family that has been affected, just know that my prayers are with you. Our hearts and souls go out to you. If you're listening to the sound of my voice, wherever you are in the world, if there's any way you feel so inclined to be a part of disaster effort, just like wanting to show your care and love and support, man, feel free to do that and find so many different ways that you can get involved or send your love or send your support or send your resources, because they're going to be dealing with this for a while. This isn't when the new thing happens next week or the new debate for the presidential election happens, there's still going to be millions of people affected and putting back the pieces of their life, trying to rebuild some semblance of normal. So I would be entirely remiss if I didn't come here and acknowledge those individuals and let you know that somebody sees you, let you know somebody cares, to let you know somebody is rocking with you, and to let you know that it's going to be okay. It gets greater later, my friend. So if you just needed a little bit of encouraging words, pick your head up, keep it moving, because you can. So now getting into the topic of today, right? I was really thinking and pondering what's on my heart. And I was thinking about the concept of motivation. I'm a motivational speaker by trade. Sometimes I don't like that description because motivation can get a bad rap. I consider myself probably to be more of an inspirational speaker. Some people would even say a transformational speaker. Somebody would say tomato, semantics. Okay, you're using different words. They all are slightly different. They have slightly differences, subtleties that make them unique, right? Motivation is big juice. That's big energy. I can give you a kick and I can send you on your merry way and have you ready to run through a wall. That is a feeling that a lot of people get when they are talking to me. But inspiration is a little different. I feel like motivation often is the surface. It's on the external. It's just get up, get out, and go get it because you can. Inspiration, however, delves with the inside. It's inside the mind. It's inside the heart. It's that internal fire that gets lit, that pushes you and propels you. Now, that fire can go out if you don't put wood on it. If you don't stoke the fire, then the fire will go out, right? If you're not paying attention to the resources. I don't know if y'all ever been out in nature and had a fire, but the fire can go out. I remember last year I got called to speak in Michigan, and Michigan is beautiful, by the way. Shout out to my people in Michigan. Thank you to the community that brought me out and took me up to the Upper Peninsula. And we was out there and it was freezing, but we had a big old fire going. But then the wind started blowing hella hard, and then it started raining, and there was nothing to shield the fire from the wind or the rain. So because of the environment, that fire went out, and there was nothing we could do to bring it back unless we switch the environment or shielded the fire from the elements. You see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Inspiration is the internal flame that's lit inside your soul. And that flame will burn and burn and burn in the right circumstances and under the right conditions. But if the conditions become too much or too extreme and you aren't protecting that flame and that fire, it'll go out. And so that's a challenge to you. Before we even get started, you got to put yourself in a growth environment. My people that's on Chatter right now in Morning Motivation, which Morning Motivation is a show that I started a few months back and we've been doing every day. They are the people who are putting themselves in an environment that is conducive for growth. And so you can put yourself, it don't gotta be Chatter, but I would love for it to be. I would love to have you a part of the community. For real, for real. Maybe it's this Instagram page you're watching this highlight on. Maybe it's this TikTok. Maybe it's this YouTube channel. And you say, this is the place that I go when I need the fuel to continue to propel myself to where I'm trying to go. I rock with you. Shout out to you for rocking with me. That's what I'm talking about. You're putting yourself in a growth environment. But you got to make sure that you continue to do that. However you do it, it is imperative for you to do that. And so I was thinking about this whole concept of motivation, inspiration, and who I am and what I do and all of that. And where I landed is, what are the biggest motivators in the world? There's lots of motivators. There's lots of things that cause us to be motivated. There's a lot of people that reach out to me and say, I've been feeling real unmotivated. Like lately, I've been feeling very unmotivated. I don't really know why that is. Can you help me find my motivation? And so I got that question like 5 times over the last week. And I was like, dang, man, if there's 5 people who are willing to reach out and say, I'm struggling to find the motivation to go get what I say I want, how many actual people feel that? How many actual people feel this disconnect or this difficulty connecting to something that keep driving them to put one foot in front of the other? So that caused me to ponder these things that are motivators. And I've narrowed it down to 5. There are 5 things that I feel are the biggest motivators in the world. And these are the things that keep us going and that help us become the greatest version of ourselves if we allow them to. And if we choose to view them, because there's great power in the lens through which you choose to view your circumstances, right? So you have to choose to view these as motivators. Because if you don't, then you'll just view them as what they are and you won't allow them to motivate you. And that's a different conversation because they don't serve you. These 5 things can and will serve you through motivating you to become the best version of yourself if you allow them to. So I'm going to just give you the 5 and I'm going to focus on one. Maybe this will be a series. Maybe this will be, look, this might be the start of something great. Welcome to the start of something great. Because there's 5 of them, but I'm only going to deal with one today because y'all ain't got all day. Unless you want me to talk to you for 7 hours, I don't think you want me to talk to you for 7 hours. So you really got about 19 minutes and 34 seconds is how much longer you got with me. Some of y'all was like, what? Now what's crazy is watch how close I actually get to that. So somebody gonna put it on the timer right now. We'll see. So I'll just be saying stuff like that and I'll be real close. The internal clock is crazy. Now, the top 5 motivators in the world are poverty, hunger, love, purpose. If y'all wonder why I'm chuckling, y'all wasn't watching the screen. I skipped from 3 to 5 on my fingers, but I'm on 4. Purpose is number 4. And pain. Those are the 5 biggest motivating factors in a person's life. That's poverty, hunger, love, purpose, and pain. And the one that I really want to focus on today is pain. I want to focus on pain because pain is a universal concept. And sometimes we think pain is a thorn in our flesh. Sometimes we think pain is to rob us. Sometimes we feel like pain is a punishment. Sometimes we feel like pain is a really negative thing. But in all actuality, what pain is a gift. Pain is a gift. And you're like, to the person that's in pain right now that's hearing me say this, they probably want to slap me in my face with a backhand. Because it's like, bro, I don't feel good. I don't feel good. And I know what that feels like. I know what it felt like to have my body mangled by a car accident when a teenager was too busy looking at her phone texting and drove her big, giant Jeep right through the rear end of my car. Her grill was in my back seat and it rocked my body and I couldn't sleep in my bed for almost a year after that. I slept on my knees, laying my head down on the side like this because that was the only place I had relief, not in my recliner, not on my couch, not in my bed, nothing. My back was in excruciating pain for an entire year as I dealt with the back end and intense rehab and physical therapy from that situation. So to the person that's in that place and that pain is kicking your behind and all you want to do is literally slap me right now, trust me when I tell you, the pain wasn't given to you for no reason. There's always a greater purpose for pain. Pain serves a valuable and vital purpose in your life. Think about all of your favorite stories, right? I want you to think big of all of these huge success stories. It's rare that a story resonates with you when a person was born, they were given $1 million at birth, they were given another $1 million every birthday for their entire life, and they got 18 and they went and built something super successful, and they went and made all this extra money, and they went and did all this cool things. That doesn't do anything for you. You're like, cool, good talk. If somebody did that for me, I would be there too. That's a fact. You know, I mean, you have choices to make. I'm sure they made some choices, but at the same time, you get what I'm saying. That's not the thing that resonates with you the most. The stories that we love to celebrate and honor are the stories where people have overcome great odds, great adversity, great trauma, from the depths of despair, to find a deeper resolve on the inside to overcome all of that, to climb to the top of a mountain, to celebrate triumphantly. And so that is where the bulk of us on the planet lie. The bulk of us on the planet didn't get nobody giving us no $1 million at birth and every birthday until we turned 18. The bulk of us were inherited the pains of our parents. The bulk of us inherited generational curses, not blessings. Some of us inherited debt instead of resources. Some of us inherited trauma. Some of us inherited abuse. Some of us, oh man, you see what I'm saying? So we were placed in a different place. And so in that world, when life is smacking the you know what out of you, for lack of a better term, life is just throwing some Mike Tyson haymakers and your face is going back and forth. You look like Michael B. Jordan in the Rocky movie when he got caught and he faced and all that slobber flew out of his mouth, and he really let himself get hit too in the filming. Some of y'all is right there. And what happens when you get right there? You feel tired. You feel neglected. And sometimes, if you're honest, you just want to throw in the towel. Throwing the towel is a concession of defeat. It's like, you know what? I'm giving it up. I don't got no juice left to fight. I got nothing left in me. I did all I could. I tried my darndest. I tried to fight. And I just don't got no juice left in the tank. And to the person that finds themselves in that place, I want to give you encouragement today. The first encouragement is that I see you. I don't physically see you. I mean, unless you're looking at my beautiful chestnut eyes in the camera, I see you. But what I'm saying is I see your struggle. And what I'm saying is I know what it feels like to go through pain. I know what it feels like to go without food. I've been there. I've been there, man. I don't even want to go through the horror stories from my life, man. There was days like scavenging around the house with no food and no money. I told y'all this. Only thing in the house is old stale crackers, and taking those crackers and finding some like like hella cheap block cheese in the refrigerator and like trying to slice it up with a fork and throwing that on a plate of crackers and melting the cheese over the crackers that are stale and old and eating those with my brothers. Like, come on, man. Like, what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what it feels like to, because of the abuse, because of the addiction in my home, to be without, to live in the poorest state in the union, and to watch my mom sacrifice herself and not eat to go to churches. The cheapest chicken in the world. You could get a piece of chicken for 50 cents at that point. You could get a 5-piece chicken for like $3 to watch her take rolls of pennies to churches to get a 5-piece chicken, come home to try to feed me and my big brothers. You see me? Come on, man. Like, what? We all as football players. You trying to feed us a piece of chicken each, and she wouldn't even take a piece, because she would make sure that we had enough. So she would split the biggest piece amongst us and go to the back. And I know she was back there crying, not even because she was hungry. She was crying because she wished that she could provide more for us. And she did all she could to make sure that we had. And even when we didn't have, like, there's no words that I could say to adequately express the gratitude I feel in my heart for the sacrifices that she made. I have 0% chance would be who I am today if it wasn't for the love of that woman. Shout out to the moms out there. that's fighting for your babies and fighting for their hearts, and you feel like you're not enough. You feel like you fighting a losing battle. You feel like everything is vying for your attention and your energy. You feel like it's not enough money to just survive, let alone thrive. You just want people to not be breathing down your neck while you just try to provide a life for those you love, those you gave life to. And to that mom that's under the sound of my voice, I want to say, I see you. I see you. And I want to encourage your heart to know that who you are in this world is a hero. Who you are in this world is a superhero. And no, it's not perfect. Yeah, you have days where you wish you weren't as angry. Yeah, you have days where you wish you wasn't snapping because of the pressure is getting too much to bear. I feel you. But what I'm saying is, I stand here today and not consider myself a real world superhero without a cape. I know the impact I make in this podcast alone, 63 countries of impact of people around the world who tap in and say your voice is worth listening to. I get messages from people, English speaking people in Middle Eastern countries saying you give me hope to keep fighting the fight that I'm fighting here. People can't even know that I'm here, but the words that you say give me fuel to keep going. I sneak and listen to this in the middle of the night. What? I know I stand here today as a hero without a cape, changing lives, helping people become the best version of themselves. I know that. But what I also know is that the only reason I am is because in the worst parts of my life, in the darkest times of my life, when I believe I had nothing to say, when I believe I had nothing to offer this world, when I believe I'd never be and accomplish anything, there was the love of a woman who saw something in me that I couldn't even see in myself, who believed better for me than I believe for myself, who challenged me even when I didn't like it and helped me become who I am today. Her words were medicine and magic to my soul. And what I'm saying to you is your words to my moms are medicine and magic to the souls of the children. Don't ever take for granted or take lightly the impact you have, because that lady, Pamela Victoria Black, didn't know, or maybe she did intuitively, that her son was going to reach millions of people. It's literally, check the footwork and my analytics, a year. She didn't know that when she was saying those words. But the result of her kindness, the result of her compassion and her love and her support has now created a ripple effect of people, millions, tens of millions, from all the people I impact and all the people they impact as a result of her choice. Stay encouraged. I know it gets tough. Stay encouraged. This same message applies. If you that dad that's out there and you on the flip side of that coin and it's just you rocking and you fighting for it, and you trying to be there and ride and show up in a world that devalues you and who you are and your gifts and your strength and your abilities and what, I know what kind of rap we get as dads. I mean, I love when people get to see me interact with my sons and see the love they have for me and the way they cheer and they celebrate and they walk around my house speaking as little M Black speaks, man. Like, when people get a chance to see that and see, like, man, I hear all this about dads and how they are not and who they are not. I can't speak for everybody because it's a lot of bad ones, and that just is what it is, but it's a lot of good ones too. And so to the good ones that's listening to the sound of my voice, I see you, fam. I hear you. I salute you for fighting even against all the perceptions and the negative stereotypes to still show up and change the narrative. Shout out to you for being a narrative changer. I'm a narrative changer as well. Salute. So I share all of this to say, man, pain is universal. Pain is a universal principle. Everybody goes through it and nobody is exempt. But I can honestly sit here and tell you, every deeply painful situation and circumstance I ever went through, even the ones that just had me in tears here before you today, going back to that place and reliving those experiences, refeeling what that felt like. Every single one of those experiences turned me into who I am today. Every single one of those experiences shaped me into the leader and world changer I am today. There is a 0% chance that I would be who I am today without every one of those experiences. I needed those because that pain is what motivates me. When I was a kid looking up, and I was looking for love and validation from a father who was struggling with addictions and who was struggling with identity and finding who he was. When I was in that place and I felt so little and so small and so invalid and invaluable, I made a commitment and a promise to myself that I'll never make another human being feel how I feel in this moment. I will never. There's nothing you can do to make me belittle and denigrate the character of a human being. I don't care how much hatred you have for me. I don't care what you do. I'm not going to do it. I refuse. It's a principle I live by. And so that pain led me to being the father that I am. People's like, I love the father that you are. That's rooted in pain. I sat with a girl, a dear friend. We used to work together. We used to be supervisors at a tech company. She wanted to sit with me. It was random. I said, what's up, girl? And she just got straight to it. She didn't want no small talk, no how you been. She said, how do I have a good relationship? I was like, oh, dang. She said, like, how do I find a man like you? And she wasn't on no disrespectful tip. She was not trying to be, she was literally just like, listen, my clock is ticking. I need to know because I'm tired of dealing with what I've been dealing with. And she straight up asked me that question. She said, like, what makes you who you are? Like all the years I work with you, all the things I see you do, who you are in the world, I never seen you be disrespectful. I never seen you go out of your character. I never seen you be inappropriate with these women. Like, how do I get one of those? And I said, well, the choices I make are 100% predicated upon the things that I've been through. And I talked about what I didn't see. I talked about the example I didn't have. I talked about the way my mom was treated. I talked about the way me and my brothers were treated. I talked about that depth of pain, of feeling like I didn't matter and like I was nothing, and the commitment that I made to myself to be different and to make the world feel different, to be a healer in the world and not someone that breeds hurt in the world, to be a person that pours back into people. This is a choice, an intentional choice that I made. And this is her. I'll never forget what that girl said to me. I laugh to this day about what that girl said to me. She said, okay, got it. So you're telling me I need damaged goods. She said, so you're telling me I need damaged goods? And I thought about it and I was like, I mean, you're not what I'm saying, but also, but I say that to say those most painful situations, circumstances, and adversities are 100% what led to the resolve I have inside of myself to be different. They motivated me to be different. I had a conversation with my wife one time, and we were sitting down. It's when I first started gaining some notoriety, and I started getting all this attention from celebrities. I remember I co-hosted a show with Vivica Fox, and then I was chopping it up with Justina Valentine, who used to be my celebrity crush, but that's the sis now. Shout out to you, sis. I know you be showing big love and support. And just like I just started getting in this new world, and so she started feeling a little insecure, and she started talking to me about it. And I told her, like, you ain't got to worry about that. Like, I want to validate your security, not your insecurities. I want to make sure you know what it is always. And I'm Asian, dog. I don't give about none of that. I don't care. And it doesn't matter because she knows that a lot of men, when they get access, then they be wilding out. People, when they get access, they wild out. And I said, no, money doesn't make people wild out. Success doesn't make people wild out. What makes it just multiplies who they already were on the inside all along. I mean, we talk about it, the diddler. It's like he just became evil. Money changed him. I'm not saying nothing about this dude. I don't know this dude from Adam. But what I will say is whoever he became in the world, money didn't change that. Money just enhanced his ability to be more of what he already was. So that was my first conversation with her. My second conversation with her is like, that's just not who I am. I'm never gonna be no cheater. And she said to me, Yeah, you're probably right. She said, you'll never cheat on me because you know I'm crazy. And I said, no, that's false. I said, it has nothing to do with that. Me not cheating on you is directly tied to a promise I made to myself when I was 9 years old that I would never be that person as a result of the pain that I saw my mama go through. It's deeper than that. The pain of that and what I saw, somebody I loved and what she went through, the pain of that motivated me to be better. The pain of going without food motivated me to grind harder. So my boys, my son, this is crazy. You know what my son said to me last night? Last night, I swear to you. I wish I had it recorded so you could hear his little cute voice. I had just finished working for the day. Then I went and picked up dinner. We sat down, we ate dinner together, and I was saying goodnight. My son came to me. He wrapped his arms around my neck. It's my oldest son. Shout out to Marcus II. I'm Marcus the First, by the way. First of his name, breaker of chains, creator of impact in the world. Let's go, Game of Thrones people. My oldest son came, the second of his name, of House Black, and he grabbed me by the neck, and he looked at me in my eyes, and he said, Daddy. I said, what's up, buddy? He said, thank you for giving us a good life. I'm talking about a 9-year-old who has the emotional intelligence to understand the sacrifices, to understand the nuances, and to have the gratitude in his heart at 9 years old and the wherewithal to say, thank you for giving us a good life. And I just hugged him and I squeezed him and I told him I was proud of him for the leader that he is. How was I able, though, to give him a good life in spite of everything that I've been through and everything I come from? Pain was the motivator. Pain is a motivator if you allow it to be. If you're in here, you're going through pain. Pain is the motivator. If you're going through a situation or a circumstance that's causing you physical pain, mental pain, pain to your heart and your soul, do not allow it to break you because you're stronger than you thought you were. You got to fight for your future. You got to fight for your relationships. You got to fight for the life that you want. And I'm telling you, you are worth the fight because of what's inside of you. You are worth the fight. Your future is worth the fight. Your family is worth the fight. Always, every day of the week. And if you allow it, pain will not be some barrier that's keeping you from living your best life. Pain will be the fuel that you need to level up, to rise above, to go be the greatest version of yourself. I know I'm living proof. So I'm telling you, from this day forward, we're not allowing pain to be this thing that makes us feel like we're failing or we're doing something wrong. I know some of y'all like, I'm sick of pain. No. I wish it could just go away. I feel you. I have thought that time and time and time again in my life. But when I got past that and I stopped worrying about the pain and started focusing more on the purpose of the pain, then I was able to step into a greater version of myself. And now I get to live my dream and impact people all over the world. But the pain was the pain is what pushed me to purpose. And if you will allow it, your pain will push you into purpose, and your purpose will help you create a legacy that outlives you. And you can create a life different than anything you ever seen, different than anything you could ever fathom and imagine. I'm telling you, I'm living proof. In the last month alone, I will have stood on stages with several of the top speakers in the world. I could say top 10 speakers in the world. And here I am being invited to stand toe to toe with them. Coming from where I'm from. Coming from where I'm from. You don't see that. That's why I'm going back to where I'm from. So the people that come from where I'm from can see me as somebody from where they're from and say, okay, You can't tell me it's impossible anymore because I've seen it. That's what LaRussell said. It's hard to ever be what you never see. So if I go back and show what I have become in spite of the circumstances that made me and who I could become in now, other people can gain the inspiration and the motivation to go and create transformation by becoming who they were meant to become. So that's it. Ain't no more talking. It's time to be about it. We're not focusing on the pain. We're focusing on the purpose of the pain. It's time for you to step and become a greater version of yourself and let that fuel and motivate you from the deepest part of your soul to go build your absolute best life, to go and maximize your purpose and your potential, to go and build up the life that you love to live and to go create a legacy that outlives you. Because you can.